If you have ever experienced ejaculating and noticing there is no release of semen, you may have felt concerned or even somewhat uncomfortable. These changes can be unsettling, especially because they directly affect intimacy and self-esteem. However, it is essential to understand that, in many cases, this is not a sign of a serious problem, but rather part of the natural aging process, or the result of specific conditions that can be treated. I am Dr. Rossi, a urologist, and today I will explain what might be happening to your body, why this change occurs, and most importantly, how to deal with it safely and calmly. I'll discuss the most common causes, such as retrograde ejaculation, the effects of certain medications, and hormonal changes. The goal is to provide clear information so you can feel confident and in control of your sexual health before continuing. Make sure you're already subscribed to the channel to keep receiving tips about health and sexual education if this video provided valuable information for you. Give it a thumbs up and help share this content with more people. Also, leave your opinion in the comments. Type 1 if you like the topic, or 0 if you have suggestions to improve the content. Your interaction is very important. Over the years, the male body goes through several transformations, and some of them can catch many by surprise amid doubts and aging conflicting information. It is easy to feel some discomfort when facing more intimate changes. This type of topic is often surrounded by mystery, which can create insecurity and even the feeling of being alone in the situation. That's why speaking openly about the subject is an important step toward dealing with these changes in a calm and mature way. Feeling a bit unsettled when addressing such personal issues is completely normal after all. Sexual health is still a topic treated with a certain level of hesitation. But the truth is that physiological changes are part of aging and should not be seen as taboo among these transformations. Ejaculation without sperm is an example that, although it may draw attention, is not always associated with a serious health problem. The purpose here is to bring clarity to this topic and offer support to those who, for any reason, have felt worried or anxious about these changes. Men over the age of 55 often notice changes in sexual function more frequently, but even younger men can benefit from this information to better prepare for the future. Aging is also about accumulating experiences and developing a new perspective on one's body. This more balanced view allows you to understand that certain changes do not represent failures, but are instead natural aspects of the passage of time. When we interpret these transformations calmly, anxiety decreases and self-confidence grows. It is important to remember that everyone ages in their own way. What happens to one person may be different for another, and that is completely normal. Respect protecting your own rhythm and seeking reliable information are essential steps to maintaining well-being and dealing with aging in a healthy way. Would you like to improve your sex life and strengthen your relationship? Bonds in the digital book, Rediscovering Intimacy, Healthy Sexuality After 60, you'll find practical, healthy sexuality. After 60 strategies to reignite desire, face emotional and physical challenges, and enhance connection. Click the link in the first pinned comment and see how to renew your love life when a man noticed is that he ejaculates without releasing semen. It is natural for doubts to arise. One of the most common explanations for this is called retrograde ejaculation. Although the name may sound complicated, the concept is simpler than it seems. Basically, the semen, instead of exiting through the usual canal, ends up being redirected to the bladder. Although it may seem unusual, this condition is not dangerous and in most cases does not seriously affect health. What happens is that the muscles responsible for controlling the flow of semen may lose some strength over time. This causes the sperm's pathway to change. Especially in older men, it is a change that may seem unsettling at first, but is part of the natural transformations the body undergoes with aging. Besides the physical aspects, it is important to recognize the emotional and psychological effects of emotional and psychological effects. These changes aging is already a process full of challenges, and when it involves intimate matters, it can bring insecurities. Many men end up feeling uncomfortable when dealing with changes in sexual function, which can lead to unnecessary concerns. However, it is essential to remember that these transformations do not diminish anyone's personal value or determine the quality of intimate experiences. Openly talking with your partner and strengthening emotional connections can ease tension and help maintain intimacy. After all, emotional closeness is often even more powerful than any physical aspect. It is worth highlighting that the human body is always adapting. From the moment we are born, we undergo constant changes, and this continues throughout life. These transformations affect all systems, including sexuality in men over 60. It is normal to notice adjustments in sexual function, such as a decrease in sperm production during ejaculation. Understanding that these changes are part of the natural aging process can bring greater peace of mind. Retrograde ejaculation. When approached with maturity, these alterations stop being seen as problems and start being recognized as part of life cycle. When it comes to sexual health, any change can raise concerns. But before jumping to conclusions, it is important to know that not all alterations indicate something serious. Often, these changes are related to natural aging or health conditions that can be managed with ease. One of these situations is called retrograde ejaculation. In this case, instead of semen being expelled normally, it ends up going into the bladder. Although this may seem unusual, this condition generally does not pose serious health risks and does not interfere with overall bodily functions. What causes this? The answer lies in the muscles responsible for directing the flow of semen during ejaculation over time. These muscles can weaken, allowing semen to take an alternative route. Additionally, the use of certain medications can contribute to this alteration, especially those used to treat high blood pressure diabetes and prostate problems. Medications for chronic conditions can affect communication between nerves and muscles, leading to changes in how semen is released. Often this is not mentioned during medical consultations, leaving men without clear information about side effects. Antidepressants, blood pressure medications, and prostate treatments are solutions among those that may influence this process. Surgical procedures also play a role in this scenario. Men who undergo prostate surgeries, such as those performed to treat benign prostatic hyperplasia, BPH, may notice changes in ejaculation. BPH, which is an enlargement of the prostate, can cause difficulty urinating and frequent trips to the bathroom. Especially at night, surgery in these cases helps relieve symptoms and improve quality of life, but may be accompanied by changes in sexual function. Knowing this is essential potential for facing these transformations with maturity and without panic. Discussing any doubts or discomforts with a doctor can bring more clarity and practical solutions. Aging is a process that requires adjustments, but with the right information, it is possible to maintain both health and confidence as the body undergoes changes, especially with age. It is natural for some functions to operate differently. Medical procedures, such as prostate surgeries, can alter the functioning of the muscles responsible for directing semen, leading to retrograde ejaculation. Although the name may sound alarming at first, this condition is harmless and does not pose serious health risks. Understanding this helps address the situation more calmly and make informed decisions about treatments if necessary. Another point that deserves attention is hormones, especially testosterone. As the years go by, levels of this hormone naturally decrease, which can affect both sexual desire and sperm production. While the drop in testosterone is not the primary hormone's cause of retrograde ejaculation, It can influence vitality and sexual performance more broadly if there are doubts about hormone levels. Consulting an endocrinologist is always a good idea. Simple tests can determine whether everything is within normal ranges or if adjustments are needed. In some cases, treatments can help balance hormones and improve quality of life. However, sexual health is not only about tests and medications. Habits such as a balanced diet, regular exercise, and stress management are powerful allies in maintaining hormonal balance and overall well-being. These practices not only strengthen the body, but also boost self-confidence and energy. It is important to remember that beyond physical factors, emotional aspects also have a significant impact. Changes in sexual function can cause anxiety or insecurity, especially when they affect a relationship with a partner. These feelings are normal, and many men experience them as they age. The key is not to let these concerns grow to the point of harming self-esteem or emotional connections. Having open and honest conversations helps reduce tension and strengthen bonds. After all, intimacy is not just about the physical aspect. It is built on trust, partnership, and mutual understanding. Taking care of both the body and the mind is the best way to keep this connection alive regardless of age. As the years go by, it is natural for the body to start functioning a little differently. A clear example of this is the gradual decline in testosterone levels, which typically begins around the ages of 30 or 40 and continues throughout life. By the time an aged man reaches his 60s or 70s, it is common to notice changes such as lower energy levels, reduced sexual desire, and even shifts in mood or mental clarity. While low testosterone is not the primary cause of ejaculation without semen, it can be associated with the aging process for those who feel these changes are affecting their quality of life. Consulting an endocrinologist is a good starting point. This specialist can assess hormone levels and suggest strategies to maintain balance. Small adjustments to daily routines can also make a difference. Engaging in physical exercise, adopting a nutrient-rich diet, and managing stress can help keep hormones function properly. In some cases, hormone replacement therapy may be recommended, but always under medical supervision to ensure safety beyond the physical aspects. It is impossible to ignore the role of the mind in these matters. Feelings such as anxiety, insecurity, and stress can directly impact the body's response during intimate moments. When doubts about performance arise, many men tend to withdraw, which can weaken emotional connections with their partner and even affect self-esteem. These concerns are normal and should not be seen as signs of weakness. On the contrary, they highlight the importance of seeking support and understanding open conversations about fears and insecurities. Strengthen relationships, create a safe space for acceptance, and reinforce emotional intimacy when couples face changes together. Everything becomes lighter and easier to handle. Seeking help from a therapist specializing in sexual health can be a big step for those looking to cope better with these changes. These professionals provide practical guidance to reduce anxiety, rebuild self-confidence, and strengthen emotional bonds between partners with the right strategies. It is possible to rediscover pleasure and intimacy in relationships. One point that needs clarification is the myth that the absence of semen during ejaculation means that an orgasm did not occur. This misconception causes many men to worry. Unnecessarily, male sexual pleasure goes far beyond the presence of semen and involves a series of physical and emotional responses. Orgasm is a complex phenomenon involving the brain, the nervous system, and bodily reactions. Even in cases of retrograde ejaculation or reduced semen volume, the sensation of pleasure and satisfaction remains intact. Conclusion: the key is to view intimacy more broadly, valuing both the emotional and physical aspects. With this new perspective, couples can use these changes as an opportunity to strengthen their bonds and explore different ways to connect aging. Instead of being seen as an obstacle, becomes a chance to renew intimacy and experiment with new ways of expressing affection. Small gestures such as prolonged hugs, honest conversations about desires, or even sharing enjoyable activities can deepen relationships even further. Many couples also discover sensuality in more relaxed moments, free from pressure or rigid expectations. These adaptations do not need to be viewed as limitations. On the contrary, they create opportunities to grow together, strengthen the partnership, and keep the spark of companionship alive. The most important thing is to approach these changes with curiosity and openness to new possibilities. If you've made it this far, you now know that bodily changes, such as ejaculation without semen, may be unsettling, but in most cases are not a serious issue, with clear information and a careful approach to sexual health. It is possible to handle these transformations in a calm and secure manner. Now let me know in the comments, had you heard about retrograde ejaculation? Before your participation is very important. So share your thoughts or leave suggestions for future topics. If this video was helpful, hit the like button and help more people access this valuable information. Your support makes a big difference in expanding the reach of the channel and to keep learning about sexual health and aging with more confidence. Check out the other videos on the channel. There's plenty more content waiting for you. See you in the next video.